Hi, everybody. My name is Ifi Mbago, and if this is the first time you're seeing me, a little bit about myself. My name is Ifi Mbago. I'm a mom of three. I live in Scotland, and I'm basically in love with anything that has to do with inspiration, anything that has to do with the mindset, anything that has to do with personal development. And I've basically been building my business online. And I'm also an author and just a couple of things. So I just wanted to go through that. But what I'm here to discuss today is basically three ways that you can use to help. Okay, let me put it another way. The mind is a very tricky thing. Our minds are very tricky in the sense that our minds can either work for us or our minds can work against us. But whatever your mind does is up to you at the end of the day. This mind that we have, it's so old. I remember I was giving a talk yesterday. We were a group of women. So I was giving a talk and I was trying to explain how our mind works. When in life, when we want something that is unusual, something that we're not used to, when we want something that is outside our comfort zone, what happens is that our minds kind of like it shuts down. And I gave this example of a hotspot. I gave an example of a hotspot, very, very hot pot. Imagine you're cooking in the kitchen, you know, you're cooking with a spoon, you're turning the pot. Then all of a sudden, your hand just scrapes on the pot. Your first reaction is going to be, ouch, it's going to hurt you. So you want to snatch your hand away. And that's the same thing that happens to us when we face a challenge that we're trying to overcome. That's the same thing that happens to us when we're trying to do something outside of our comfort zone. Our minds and our bodies, they try to protect us. So today I want to show you, or kind of like discuss three ways that you can use your mind to work for you instead of your mind working against you. And if you're hopping on, please feel free to let me know where you're watching from. Just comment. And if you have any questions as I'm doing this Facebook Live, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer. The first thing I want to talk about is focus. Focus is so powerful in the sense that what are you thinking? What's occupying your mind? What's occupying your thoughts? And I'm going to give you an example because I love giving examples. That's how to break it down to make it very relatable. Let's say that someone hurt you. Someone really hurt you and you don't like what that person did to you. It happened in the morning. And let's also say that you have a business that you're building. You have something that you're doing. But because of those words that person said that really ticked you off, you realize that you spend practically the whole morning, the whole afternoon thinking about maybe the way you would have replied, maybe what you would have said that you did not say, maybe how hurt you are. You start thinking of so many things that you realize that all of a sudden your attention has shifted from maybe the goals you set to achieve for the day in your business, for your children, for your job, whatever it is. Your attention has shifted out of that and you've now focused on an event that happened early in the morning. And if you're not careful, that event is going to occupy your mind and it's going to keep making you get angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier till you decide to do something that you probably shouldn't do, which might create more problems for you. But if you're very careful and understand the power of focus, you'll understand that what you focus on, you create. So when you notice that you're feeling this way about something someone said, something I always like telling people is, everybody, you have your key. You have your emotional key. This emotional key is something that is personal. It's something that is yours to keep. You have to hold on tight to your emotional key. Don't give anybody your key. When you understand that you have this your emotional key and it's for you to keep, then you realize that nobody has the right to control your emotions. So if someone says something you don't like, Instead of getting angry, as human beings, I have to be real, as human beings, at the end of the day, things hurt us. But with time, when you start practicing your personal development, controlling your emotions, your mind, you realize that when something happens to you, even if it hurts you, you have the ability to decide and say, you know what? This person saying this thing to me doesn't define me. This person saying this to me doesn't mean it is true. This person hurting me with their words, maybe they're probably hurt. Because at the end of the day, it's been said that hurt people hurt people. So you have to make a decision to know what you're accepting, what you're taking, and what you're not taking. So decide not to focus on whatever event transpired between you and that person, or what business partner, whatever it is. Make a conscious decision to instead focus on something that is going to be profitable to you, something that will bring you joy, something that will bring you peace. You can decide to focus on your kids. You can decide to focus on the goals you actually set out to achieve that day. You can decide to focus on something that you know that at the end of the day, when you look back at what you've done for the day, you'll be like, yes, I'm proud of myself that I was able to take action steps despite what this person did to me, despite what this person said to me. Hence, you're beginning to hold your emotional key and you're controlling yourself. So that's very important. Choose what you focus on. The second thing, the second thing that I want to talk about is you have to believe. You have to have faith. You have to have faith and you have to believe in whatever it is you're doing. Okay, let me try and break it down. Just give me a minute. Before I go, I had to just look at something. I wrote out 3 things. I basically just forgot the second. Before I go into belief and to faith, the second thing I want to touch on is gratitude. Gratitude is so, so important. I can't even explain to you how important gratitude is. But the only thing I have to tell you is that gratitude has the power to take you from feeling crappy, feeling horrible, feeling depressed. It has the power to elevate you to becoming happy, to becoming fulfilled, to becoming content, and to becoming bubbly and cheerful. You see what gratitude does? What gratitude does is it basically takes you out of a crappy situation where you're blinded by your emotions. So it takes you out of that blinded state you're in and now opens your eyes so that you can see what you have staring at you. What you have that you probably don't even realize, what you have that you probably overlook, what you have that you have been neglecting, what you have that you don't place any value on. Gratitude will open your eyes to say, I'm alive, that I can breathe in this air. I am grateful, Lord. What gratitude will do for you is you look at your children, like my daughter is right here, and you say, thank you, Lord, for giving me these amazing kids. What gratitude can do for you is say, I have a roof over my head. I have beds that I can sleep on. When you start knowing that these little things that seem insignificant to us are actually the foundational things that birth happiness. You might be chasing the money, which is very important. You might be chasing the attention, whatever it is you're chasing. But at the end of the day, understand this, that no matter what situation you find yourself in, you have something to be grateful for. So when your mind tries to come up with all sorts of stories, all sorts of lies, telling you, okay, you have nothing, you've achieved nothing, how far have you come? Look at this person, tries comparing you with other people, try comparing your journey to other people's journey. Everybody is different. No two people are the same. No two journeys are the same. So you have to understand that you're on your own unique path on earth. You have your own purpose on earth to serve. So at the end of the day, when you understand that, and you understand that everything around you is a gift, you're not paying for it. You're not paying for the air you're breathing. I'm not paying for the air I'm breathing. we have to be grateful. So when our minds begin to lie to us, we have to tell our minds to be quiet, and start practicing gratitude, and that can change our state. The number 3 thing I also want to talk about is faith, belief. It is so important. And why this faith and belief is important is that at the end of the day, if you do not believe, you're not getting it. If you don't have the ability to see that which it is you want, if you don't believe you can get it, you're not going to get it. So at the end of the day, what you believe in, if you believe you can, like they say, you get it. If you believe you can't, you won't get it. So you have to ask yourself a question. If in my mind, I know that my desire is truly to achieve A, B, and C. Achieving A, B, and C will make me extremely happy. It will make me fulfilled. If I believe that in my mind, and in the same mind, I believe and I tell myself I can never achieve A, B, and C because I don't have X, Y, Z. So I won't even give it a try. That's using the same mind to work against us. So what you have to do and what you have to understand is to know how to shut down these limiting beliefs, these self-doubts that creep up. This self-doubt, they're not even ours. They are things that we've kind of like accumulated over the years. When people try to hit us down, when people try to tell us we can't do a particular thing, when people project their fears on us, what happens is that we buy those fears, and over time, those fears become our fears. Over time, those fears become our limiting doubts, our limiting beliefs. And what happens is that they stop us from moving. They stop us from taking action into stepping into our purpose and achieving that which we were born to do. And that's why most times, because I have kids, I kind of like know the importance, especially when it comes to children. As adults, personally, I know it has taken me years to unravel years of programming, years of self-doubt, years of people putting me down, years of people making me feel like I wasn't enough. It's taken me years to do that. This is like my 5th year in my personal development journey. And that's why I pay attention to kids, because I know these lies are formed when we are children. They're not formed today. As adults, what we do as adults is that we try and reprogram ourselves. We try and break down those lies. Then we now feed ourselves with the truth. But these kids, they haven't been programmed yet. So as moms, as parents, it's our responsibility to make sure we feed them with what they need so that they don't become stuck when they're older and realize that, what, they have to unpack and repack. And that's one of the reasons I wrote The Greatest Battle. I'm going to put the link somewhere on this page. Go to thegreatestbattle.com. And that book is basically an inspirational storybook that I wrote to help children overcome life challenges. It's meant to be like a guide for parents. If you're a mom, you sit down with your child in the room. Instead of reading about how the dinosaur pooped the planet or how, I don't even know how to put it, stories that don't add value, stories your kids can't use in life to make them better human beings. Why not use bedtime and turn it into something magical, turn it into something of value, turn it into something that will empower your child? Growing up, I never thought I would write storybooks, but because of the love I have for my children and because of the world I know today, and because of what I know today, I am trying to raise children that don't have to start unpacking baggage when they're older, when they are my age. I want to raise children that already know what is right. And by the grace of God, when they're at a certain age, they only do better. So if you need a guide to help your child to go through, understand what life is about, understand life challenges, and understand how to handle situations like, for example, bullying, understand what to do, understand what to expect, I highly recommend you go grab a free copy on my website, which is www.thegreatestbattle.com. So I just decided to come on and share this today, and it's for a limited time only. And basically I have to go and attend to my daughter right now, but I just wanted to come on and say have an amazing day. And feel free to send messages. Feel free to hit the messenger button. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if there's something in particular you want me to talk about. Let me know if you have questions you need me to answer. And always comment on this video, your takeaway or whatever it is. I'll be happy to I'll be happy to listen and to read. Have an amazing day. Bye.